We're live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Homestead HQ, where we talk about homesteading and preparedness. I am Shelly.
I'm Jason. And guys, we thought it would be fun to do a live tonight. It's kind of a pain in the butt recording this and editing it. And honestly, and Shelly will agree with it, I like having conversation. When people put comments, I like reading the comments, answering the comments, and doing stuff like that. It's just a lot more fun, in my opinion. So, but yeah, if you've got a comment, if you're in here, drop a comment, question, snide remark, whatever you want to, and we'll answer it or laugh at it or ignore it, either one. So, but I guess we could do real quick. Vac-Master. I don't know if Vac-Master has any sales right now, but Vac-Master is one of our sponsors. Go check out.
Look that up while you're talking. I'll let you know.
All right. Go to vacmasterfresh.com. You can always use the code Homestead to get 15% off. I don't think they've got any huge sales because I hadn't gotten an email yet. But like I said, you can always get 15% off by using the code Homestead. And Bill is the first one to comment. Bill wins the comment award for the night.
Hey, Bill.
So, and wow.
Says right now they have free shipping on orders over $150, and they now offer that Affirm flexible payment plans. You know, where you can order it and make 4 payments or something like that. So they have that too.
That's a pretty good deal. And really, in today's world, free shipping's a pretty good thing. So,
yeah.
Forest is here. I've got an apple tree, and I think the top 12 inches died over the winter. Yeah, Forest, if you cut it right now, it's not. What is
it? Is it flowering? If it's flowering right now, you probably need to wait until it goes dormant in the fall to cut it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would wait. Unless something really. I guess you could cut the dead part of it, and it's not going to hurt anything because it's already dead. But I wouldn't cut below where it's live. If there's a possibility of it, breaking off or something like that to where it falls down and harms the rest of the tree, I'd probably go ahead and cut part of it off, but just don't cut into the live part, and you should be fine. Melanie's here too.
Trying to figure out how to make her a moderator. I can't remember how to do that.
I forgot.
Before put a blue star on her. I don't know what that means. Hey, Melanie.
But yeah, Vac-Master's got free shipping on over $150. And then also, guys, go check out the website for all the festival stuff. We'll jump on that here in a little bit. But the sustainability store, go check that out. We've got our first aid kits, first aid supplies, pretty much everything you need. If there's something on there that you don't see, we can get it for you. Just let us know. Send us an email or whatever you want to. Andrew's got a question.
So when is it safe to plant my starters in mid-Tennessee? First growing season for me in Tennessee. So you are, you're probably not far off. I would say you guys are like 7A or something like that, or we're like 6B. There are things that you can put in the ground. You can plant potatoes right now. You can plant brassicas, but they need to be covered. And brassicas are going to be like cabbage and broccoli and lettuce and stuff like that. But like tonight and tomorrow night here in Kentucky, it's supposed to get to like 29 degrees or something like that. So you would want to cover that stuff, but don't get antsy and don't be planting your peppers or your tomatoes or anything until probably. Well, in Kentucky, the rule is kind of like Mother's Day weekend or Derby weekend or whatever. We try to wait till then to plant stuff. But you can go and look up your zone, whatever your zone is at by your zip code. And you can find online particulars, especially if there's something in particular that you want to look at planting. But don't plant them too early because these freezes will kill you.
And I'm dreading the freeze we're going to have tonight and tomorrow because all my fruit trees are budded out and everything else.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cover them up or anything? Like with
sheets
or something?
I'm probably going to. Whitney's not going to be happy, but I'm going to grab a bunch of sheets and throw them on the fruit trees. So
see, ask her if she's got any old ones before you go grabbing them.
I'm just going to grab them. I'll take the consequences. I'll give her some apples and some peaches, and she'll be okay. So
Bill said, I made a heck of a haul a couple of weeks ago. My neighbor replaced part of their privacy fence, and the contractor loaded it up and hauled it to my house and unloaded it. I got gate hardware 4x4s. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love when that happens, right?
Oh, hey, Bill, at my place, I'll show a picture of it one day. We've got the firewood shed where I keep all my firewood. I built that. I did the sides. We tore out my dad's old deck, and I used all the deck boards for the siding on that. I mean, they were rough looking and everything, but I'm like, heck, they're still strong. So we used that and recycled those. It makes great siding for that.
And Bill responded to Andrew's question. It says, it depends on what part of Tennessee. Here in Jackson, planting starts April 15th. So, yeah, just look up your zone and stick by your zone, whatever it says for that. Leonard Collier says, ready for this cold spell to end from London, Kentucky. Leonard, I agree with you. I'm tired of the cold, but more than that, I am tired of the rain. And I know I say that. I know that rain is a blessing. I know. And, you know, like we're going to have good growing seasons from all this stuff. But where I live in South Central Kentucky, the river that, so like I live, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes from Barren River. And that's kind of our local where we get water from and all that kind of stuff. And that river is normally the level below the bridge is normally about 20 feet down. And like right now, that water is just under that bridge. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And they're letting water out of the dam as quick as they can. So to reduce flooding in the whole South Central Kentucky area. I mean, these storms that have hit, it's crazy. I mean, the first night when I was watching Ryan Hall and all those places that were hitting in Arkansas, there was like 20 tornadoes hitting in Arkansas simultaneously. Like, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But we've gotten tons of rain. I'm so tired of the rain.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know it's a blessing. I know.
Now, Bill, are you in Jackson? Are you in Jackson, Tennessee? If so, I was close to Jackson the other day, and we'll touch on that here in a little while. I ran down to Selmer, Tennessee, where the tornado hit. So we'll get on that here in a little bit. But, yes, I am tired of the rain. Now, I like colder weather more than I like hotter weather. I like my hoodies, and I was like, when I went outside today, I was like, ooh, I get to wear a hoodie most of the day. So, oh yeah, Falmouth is underwater. They evacuated that town up in northern Kentucky. They did like a mandatory evacuation of there.
Is that the one that's Carroll County, like up close to the river?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure yeah, I saw that. My friend Angie sent me videos about that.
Oh yeah. I mean, we went last Monday and Tuesday, we went to Cincinnati Reds game. They were playing the Rangers, and Lincoln loves the Texas Rangers. So we went up there, and then I happened to see a video of the stadium, and it's almost got water in that stadium. I was like, I am so glad that we went before all this crap.
Wow.
So it was fun. That was the first major league game I'd been to in years. So, yeah, Dyersburg got hit with 2 storms in a row. I was down in Selmer when I ran down there. So, Shelly, do you have any awesome news?
Actually, I do.
All right.
And I didn't realize. I thought that this was like, like a one-time thing, but I just Googled it, and apparently it's not a one-time thing, which I'm glad. But let me just start with my news. Okay. Idaho governor, at the beginning of this month, Idaho governor signs bill allowing death penalty for child sex offenders.
All right.
Yeah. And then come to find out, there are actually several states who have the death penalty for child sex offenders, which has surprised me. Like Oklahoma, South Carolina, Georgia, Montana. I'm not going to read down through all of these, but the the thing that shocked me about this, I guess, okay, it says that Brad Little has signed legislation allowing Idaho courts to impose the death penalty for people convicted of lewd conduct with children under 12 years old. It also strengthens punishment for other convicted pedophiles. It says Idaho will not tolerate sexual abuse for our children. The thing that stuck out to me about this story, let me find it. Hold on just a second. In a statement, Little said the sexual abuse of children is sickening and evil and deserves the ultimate punishment. He also noted Idaho will now be the only state to make death by firing squad a primary method of execution, which would apply to pedophiles. Like, when is the last time that you have heard about death by firing squad? Oh my gosh.
It's been quite a while since I've heard that. But I mean, hey, I'm all about it. I mean, it works for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see any problem with that. Shelly, you're frozen up.
I know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're just frozen.
Yeah, I see that it's froze. Maybe I need to leave and come back in.
Yeah, leave and come back in. I'll handle it.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, well, are you back?
I never left. Okay, it's good.
All right. You just had to threaten to leave.
I guess. But, I mean, way to go, Idaho. For real. Yeah. That is awesome. Awesome news.
I mean, I think it should do it in all 51 states. So maybe somebody will catch that. Somebody will be like, there's only 50 states.
And the Gulf of America.
Yeah. I think it was somewhere. What was it? I thought I saw somewhere there was some shrimp, and it was like caught in they'd redone their package, and it was like caught in the Gulf of America or something. And I'm like,
I noticed, like, I brought up on Google Maps the other day. It said on Google Maps, it says Gulf of America now.
Really?
Like on Google Map, like it'll do the whole world map. Yep, it sure does.
Hello, Scott. Everything is pretty good here. We're waterlogged, but hey, other than that, the sun came out today and we're drying out. So, yeah, Forrest, we're referring to Canada. So, yeah, indeed, yeah, and that's true, Leonard. If that went in, DC would be a goner. There might be 2 people left in DC, maybe 3. So,
I mean, they would just have to have firing squads everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, look at it. Okay, you've got, I don't know how many people. What do they do? Like 6 people? 6 people for a firing squad?
Well, I have no idea.
Well, I know it's a certain amount of people, and only one of them has maybe 2 of them has a real bullet. The other one have blanks, and nobody knows who killed them. So
really,
yeah. Oh yeah, not everybody has a real bullet. There's only like 1 or 2 people that have a real bullet.
So what if the guy who has the bullet misses or doesn't get a kill shot or whatever?
I went down the rabbit hole. I watched some video on this, and it's like they used to. Sometimes the guys would just get mean about it, and they would shoot and just maim the guy. They'd like shoot him in the guts or something like that, not in the heart. But economically, even if you armed all 6 of those guys, and let's say on the high end, because the government would be buying the bullets, so you're at like $2 a bullet for a 5.56. So, I mean, it's a cheap way to do it.
It says a firing squad typically consists of at least 3, but often more shooters who simultaneously fire to execute an inmate, with 1 or more shooters sometimes having blank rounds to ensure no one can be identified as the shooter.
Well, Larry said South Carolina just did one with 3, and all were loaded, he believes. So, And then Bill said,
I didn't even know firing squads were a thing in the United States. Like, I know that they're a thing in like third world countries and stuff. I didn't even know that we still did stuff like that.
I mean, I think if they did, I think if they did that or did public hangings and televised it like pay-per-view, think of how much money you could raise. Like, hey, we're going to hang the pedos tonight. Shoot, I'm in for $19.95. I mean, that, and I'll buy the T-shirt to it. You know, pedo hanging 2025. So, Bill says, my wife said that all the storms are because the Gulf's pissed off about the name change. They're sending all that Mexican water up here.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I think a firing squad would be fine. That or public hangings. I'd probably even go guillotine.
If they're getting rid of pedos, I don't even care. Just do it.
Speaking of that, Saturday at the festival, you can come to the charity auction that we're going to have to raise money to.
It will not be a death by firing squad. That's not what you're coming for. So don't be like, speaking of that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. You can come and help raise money to rehabilitate the people that have been in the trafficking. But we're going to be having a charity auction for Caleb House. Bear will be there. He's going to tell everybody what it's all about. We're going to have an awesome auction. If there's anything that you would like to donate to the auction, let us know, and we can get it and get you going with that. What?
Oh, Leonard, I believe you are our people.
Yeah. Yeah. And then right here, millstones. Why do you have to hit this thing twice now?
Millstones. I just click it once.
I got to hit it twice on mine. So.
It's because you're a turd.
Scott wants to know if we can remote donate. We should. We still don't have that on the website right now, do we?
It was on our old website. It's not on the new one. So
I will make a note.
On our other website, we had a link that went directly to Caleb House. So if you needed like the 501c3 thing or something like that, you could get that. So talk to whoever you talk to at Grindstone Ministries and see if they can give you a link or something, and then we can put it on there. So we will get back with you about that, Scott, and let you know.
Scott, if you send us an email, my email is KentuckySustainableLiving@gmail.com. Send me an email, and I'll have your email. And once it's up, I can email you back and let you know.
Forrest did win the axe, man. That was an axe. That was like a Viking axe.
If I wouldn't have bought a shave kit, I probably would have bought that instead of the shave kit. So, but I'd already bought the shave kit and spent enough money. So, but yeah, hey, and like I was saying, if there's some kind of product or something like that, or a business that wants to donate some products and stuff like that, get a hold of us, email us, and we'll be glad to take that stuff and auction it off. I want to raise as much money as we can for Caleb House on Saturday night. Yes. So, and this charity auction is open to whoever wants to come. There's no fee to get in, nothing. We're going to have a food truck there. If you want to buy food, it's going to be some of the best teriyaki and sushi in Bowling Green, bar none. He will have his food truck there. So if you want to buy food and come and sit down for the auction, you can. If you don't want food, you can come in, sit there completely free, and have a good night with us. So, and if somebody wants to donate a keg of beer, we could have a keg of beer there if we wanted to. Free beer. What about that? So, all right. What? Have we got any other? Is that all the news we had?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I thought that was pretty amazing in and of itself.
Oh, it is. I mean, maybe we should get that in Kentucky.
If we could get rid of Bashir, maybe we could.
Well, I think Bashir is going to make a run at Mitch McConnell's seat.
Probably.
Yeah, because he's all over. He's all over the place now.
Let's see. The most damage we've experienced in our area is a car dealership. A shed sells lots and roads flooded and washed a few roads out. We've got all kinds of, I mean, it's here in Kentucky. Oh my gosh. It is, what was it, 537 roads closed or something like that in the whole state.
Yeah, there's
And
a bunch.
there's some sinkhole that's opened up over in Bowling Green.
Yeah, there's one Fountain Trace subdivision.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the upper end subdivisions. There's a whole. It took up pretty much the whole road right there. I saw it on TikTok.
So what's the deal with that new subdivision that the last time we had a lot of rain it flooded, and now like all of those houses are flooded? And the people that had bought house, like they're all new houses, and they had told them that, oh, that's all fixed and it's never going to flood and blah, blah, blah. And now it's flooded twice in the last year. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. A couple people I know live over there, but I blame the developer and the county building office and planning and zoning on this, because planning and zoning doesn't really care about it. The builders don't really care as long as they can get the money. And then if you can build new houses, then the county doesn't care because they're getting all the tax revenue and they're just screwing the people. So they're just approving all this stuff. They don't care. They're just like, oh, we're going to get more money in taxes off all these new houses and these people moving in. So they're not held accountable. I would love to see, and somebody was talking about it on Facebook, a class action lawsuit against the county.
I think they should.
Yeah, I mean it.
And these are big, high dollar houses.
Yeah, I mean you're not looking at little cheap houses. They're nice. They're nice houses, and that's the thing.
And the people can't even drive to them. They have to park out on the main road. You can't even get to your house.
Well, now Warren County declared a state of emergency, and what that does is frees up government money to where they can spend money without getting approval. They had Scotty's Contracting come in and built gravel pads on top of the road so people could drive back there. They were putting like a foot or two of gravel on top of the blacktop, building it up where people could drive. So it's like, there went my tax dollars on all this rock, all this labor, and then you're going to pay for it again doing that. It's just
But I've seen videos of people walking through their house and they're like up mid shin water in their house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, oh my God. I can't even imagine what these people are going through, because they're just, unless they do a class action lawsuit, they're screwed.
Yeah.
And then how many years is it going to take to get any result from that?
Oh yeah. And there's no accountability with it. If I went in and jacked somebody's house up, yes, they're going to just come after me and everything like that. But I mean, they've had engineers sign off on this. You can find an engineer. Now, I will tell you this. This is how crappy some of the engineers are. My parents had a piece of property on down the road. 31W, Nashville Road, they're going to make it 4 lanes now, running past where my parents had this property. The state came in, sent my parents a letter that says, hey, we're going to buy this. We need to buy this section of property. And it wound up being, I think, a 1/4 acre or something like that they needed to buy to expand the road. They were going to put in a drainage easement on this. And they bought the drainage easement, and all this water was going to drain through there. And I asked the guy with the state that was in charge of the land acquisition, I'm like, hey, his engineered drawings been done with all this? And I didn't tell him my background. I was like, has this been engineered and all this? And he was like, yes, we engineered it we put the right size culvert in, did the right size calculations and all this. And I'm like, okay. I said, because I don't want it to affect the other 5 acres that my parents own, because we could sell that as building lots later if we wanted to. And he goes, no, it shouldn't affect it. And I said, okay, before we sell this to you, I was like, I want an engineered letter that says, hey, us doing this is not going to directly affect the property value and flood this property. They wouldn't give it to me. And I'm like, why not? He's like, well, they've done the engineering on it. And I was like, if they've done the engineering on it, they need to stand behind it. And they're like, no engineers are going to stand behind that. And I was like, so really it's a big crock of shit is what you're trying to sell me.
Yeah.
And then I let loose on my background and all this. And he was like, oh, okay. So it's either, but the thing is, you either sell the property to them or they condemn it and take it from you.
Yeah.
So you're stuck. So
yeah, Bill, several years ago, it's probably 15 years ago, the big sinkhole opened up in the Corvette Museum, the big yellow dome part of it. And when you go there now, they have like a whole interactive thing where you can watch the videos and see all that stuff. And there was, they've even got some of the Corvettes that were mashed up, mangled up on display there that were destroyed in that. Yeah.
See, Jesus doesn't even like Corvettes. And Sarah, that's fine that you don't have anything to donate. I mean, just starting over, that's perfectly fine. That's not a problem. But if you know somebody that's got a business that might be interested in it, hit them up. Tell them what we're doing. So,
hey, Rosie's in the house.
Yep. But yeah, I do. I feel sorry for the people that bought those houses and they're getting flooded and stuff.
It's awful. Every time I see it, I mean, I'm just, God, my heart goes out to them. I can't imagine. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, and you can't stop making payments on your house. You can't live in it. What do you do? I mean, it's despicable what they've done to those people. Oh, yeah.
And I mean, while we're on the water rising and stuff like that, anybody, and I just talked to my mom about this because my parents have, I think, 3 acres where they live at. And usually when we get a big rain, there's a field down there that holds a little bit of water, but it's gotten up more and more. And she called me today and she's like, hey, the water is getting over the field lines for the septic tank. And she's like, what do you think about me running the washing machine and the dishwasher? And I was like, I wouldn't run them too awful much. So, because the thing is, you got to look, your septic tank, your field lines, they work mostly on evaporation. And then more than half is evaporation coming out. And then a lot of it leaches out into the ground, the water. So if your septic lines are covered in water, you really need to cut down on your usage of, big stuff. I mean, don't just stand and take a 30-minute shower and don't run the washing machine and the dishwasher because it will eventually start backing up and filling your septic tank up. So that's my word. That's my contractor advice for the day. So, but yeah, hopefully the homeowner's insurance will help them out. I mean, you never know. I don't know unless they've got flood insurance. I don't know if it covers it or not. So what you could do, and this is not advice, but if the water main happens to break in your house and flood your house with city water, then it's not a flood, it's a busted pipe. Wink, wink. Just saying.
There you go. Bill said the same neighbor who he got the wood from has a sinkhole in their front yard that is about the size of a wheelbarrow in diameter, and it has it to fill up every year.
Yep.
Yep. Sinkholes are all over Kentucky. We have all that limestone around here, and it's just, that's why we have Mammoth Cave. It's the biggest known cave system on the planet. And that's why, because it's like a big honeycomb underneath Kentucky.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, hey, also, one thing we got to worry about, and I heard somebody talking about it, is since all the caves are full and everything like that, somebody said we needed to watch out about earthquakes.
Thanks for that.
I'm just saying. So.
Okay, all the more reason to have your preps ready to go. Have a bag in your car. Get your bug out bag together. Have, food on hand and all of that stuff. If you have to get out, make sure you have clothes for your kids and your flashlight and all those things. We've talked about bug out bags before. Have that stuff ready to go in your car if you have to leave.
Yeah, I mean, be ready. Be able to be ready to leave at a moment's notice with what you need. So I don't know. But hey, did you see that guy? I think he's up in Louisville. I think it was in Louisville. He owns a bar or something like that. He decided that he was going to flood his restaurant with fresh water before the Ohio River came up and flooded it with like silt and stuff. It like showed a video. There's like 2.5 feet in his restaurant where he flooded his restaurant with fresh water so the dirty water wouldn't come in.
Did that work?
I don't know. I just saw a thing and I'm like, this guy's a moron. Because essentially you flooded your restaurant. I'm like, I'm just thinking insurance fraud.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, yeah, he could have been doing that. It could have been that he was just trying to, you know, whatever. But silt does a lot of damage. I mean, that's a lot of dirt and nastiness and all of that. I mean, think about, you know, all the pictures that we saw from Western North Carolina of all those business, that's all the way up to the top. And it's just mud and grime and crud from all that flooding that they had. But I mean, I'm just curious, did it keep the silt out? Did it stop? I can't see that it would, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just saw it and I just thought, okay. I was like, how are you going to explain that? Like, I wouldn't have told anybody that. Oh, yeah.
You're absolutely right. But you know what? I think that he is writing a book that he has another series that he's working on. And if I'm not, because I follow him on Facebook and something else, and he's got like an author page or something. I think he's working on that other series of books that he has. But yeah, you're right. For the Going Home series, we need the next one for real. Because what's it been? That one came out in, this is 2025. We saw him in 20. So that one came out in December of 23. And we've not seen a book for the Going Home series. So yes, you're right. I think Jason has his phone number. We can have him call him.
I'll call him and tell him. It can be, we survived the tornadoes. We got frozen and then we died in an earthquake.
Yeah.
Now all we need is hellfire and brimstone and we're set.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we don't have volcanoes around here. So.
Did you not have 20 tornadoes in Arkansas on your bingo card?
Nope. Well.
Poor Arkansas. Oh my gosh. They got hit hard.
Oh, I know. Well, Paducah got hit. I don't know how bad Paducah got hit, but I know they got hit.
Well, and I saw a couple days ago that up in Owensboro, one of the levees in Owensboro broke.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, heck. Well, Owensboro got hammered before this with hail. So, like monster hail. It looked like Bowling Green hail that we had that one time that was in what? I forgot when that was. I was still in, that was
that was like the late 90s, wasn't it?
It was, I think it was 2000 maybe. 99 or 2000. I was still in college when it happened.
I know. I saw pictures of the hail from the Owensboro, the recent one, and it was like the size of a softball. They were actually holding a softball and two pieces of hail next to each other, and it was that big. Because at first I didn't realize what it was, and then I was like, oh my God, that's ice. Oh.
Brought to you by the chemtrails.
Right.
Somebody said, did you look up at the sky and see like a few days before, they were like, it was just crisscross chemtrails everywhere. And I'm like, I really didn't pay that much attention, honestly, but you're probably right. I'm not going to put it past them for doing it. So, but it's nice, pretty blue skies here today. So, well,
yeah, when all this started, Randy asked me, he goes, so is all this happening because of that crap Jason's always talking about? And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, the things in the sky. And I said, are you talking about chemtrails? And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, actually, it's Billy that always talks about that. I said, I don't know if it's causing it or not.
Well, we were sitting at the baseball game the other night before everything came through. And I was just sitting there and I started looking up and my wife looked at me and she goes, what? And I was like, chemtrails. And then she's like, shh. And the girl beside me was like, what are you talking about? I was like, they're spraying stuff in the air. And the lady just looked at me like, you're a freak, and kind of scooted over. I'm like, whatever. So
that's to have the section of bench seating all to yourself.
No, I just bring my own chair so I can just go wherever I want to.
There you go.
Yeah, most of the time nobody really sits around me. Everybody's like, "You got that face like you don't want to talk to anybody," and I was like, "Because most of the time I don't." Well, tell us how you lived through the storm, Shelly. Starting, what did it start? It started on Wednesday, didn't it?
Uh,
We had a tornado
no,
warning.
it started on Thursday. And I know that because Thursday is the day that I went to get the taxes done.
Right.
So, I was leaving work. It started raining like midday on Thursday. It may have started raining like late Wednesday night or something like that. But it started coming really hard, and then the so the town that I go get my taxes done in is like 2 towns away. And Randy had to go to work that day, so him and I met up in Cave City. We got the taxes done and everything. And when I left work, where I work at is on the same road as the high school and middle school in the county that I work in. And across the road from the schools, there's a creek over there. Well, the water was up to the road. And they were letting the kids that knew how to drive, they were letting their parents call up there and sign them out, which didn't make sense to me. I'm like, if it's dangerous enough that you're just letting people get signed out, why not just send the kids home, like all of them on buses and everything? But anyways, the water was almost up to the road. We go up to Cave City, get our taxes done and everything. And then I had to drive home on another highway, Highway 70, that goes to the town that I live in. And there were several places that the water was up to the road, but not at the road yet. And so you're right, because the night before, it was Wednesday night, there were trees all over 70 when I was driving home, State Road 70. And so they had said that they thought that there was a tornado or straight line winds that had come through like Highsville on Wednesday night. So you're right, the storms did start then. And so there was trees down, water was flooded and everything. And then, but I made it home okay. I didn't have any problems. So that night it rained, went to work on Friday. It was still, things were starting to flood, but it wasn't real bad. There wasn't any place that I couldn't get through with my truck. But so Saturday, Randy and I get up, and there's this place up in Cub Run that I wanted to go visit. And so we start heading that way, and it's probably an hour from us. And we go the same route that I came home on Thursday. It is absolutely impassable. Like, there were intersections on 70 that there were cars. You could barely see the top of the car. Somebody tried to drive through it and got stalled out, and then it completely flooded. So, I mean, as the water level rose up, I mean, it was crazy how you couldn't get through any of that stuff. Now, where I live on a ridge. Most of our farm is downhill. There's a creek down at the bottom, and you could actually hear the water running through that creek. There's always water in the creek, but I never hear it,
Yeah.
But you could stand out behind the barn and hear water running down in that creek.
It's rolling then if you can hear it from that far.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you've been down there where the creek's at. So, yeah. I mean, you could stand up at the barn and hear that. But it's just, I mean, all the rain, it's like, oh, my gosh, we got to stop. This is crazy. And now, it was kind of warm. But now this cold front's coming through, and it's supposed to get down to 29 tomorrow night. It's supposed to get cold tonight. And it's, just stop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, then you had. Then I texted you yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I texted you. I was like, "Hey, you want to do a live tonight?" And I didn't hear from you for like an hour or two. And I'm like, "Okay, she must be doing something." And then you messaged me. It's like, "We're trying to fix a leak." And I'm like, "Uh-oh." I was like, "Is it where I worked on your basement or what?" And then you're like, "It's a pipe." I was like, "Okay, it's not. I didn't screw anything up." So
yeah.
Did you get the pipe fixed?
Yeah, we got the pipe fixed. And we actually, funny, this is so dumb. Like, we moved into this house, and I know that you're supposed to check this stuff out. I just didn't. But so while we're trying to figure out the pipes situation down in the basement, there's these 2 things that hang off of the pipes. And we're like, what are those things? So Randy undoes them. It's a dual water filtration system that we didn't know we had. I mean, we saw them there. We just didn't know what they were, and we never like thought about it, right? And laying underneath these things are water filters. Again, they were there. You've been down our basement. Like,
Yeah.
we just didn't pay attention to this stuff. And so since Randy had the water shut off and trying to fix the pipe, he was like, what are these things? So he takes it off. The water that was in them was like nasty. I mean, oh my God, it was like sludge or whatever. And so he dumps that down the drain down there and takes the filters out, and come to find out the 2 filters laying underneath them were replacement filters that were just there. So he pops the new ones in and everything. He fixes the pipe, lets that sit for a while so it will do it to harden up or whatever. And then it says you're supposed to run water through it for about 10 minutes. Well, after he gets all that done, I go in to take a shower. Oh my God. Like, we had good water pressure before, but now it like beats you down. And the water tastes better and everything. I'm thinking, so I take the paper from the filters and I'm looking up. I'm like, okay, how often are we supposed to replace this and all this kind of stuff? It's supposed to be replaced every 4 months. We've been here 4 years.
Well, you got a good run of those, didn't you?
So now we know that we have this dual water filtration system or whatever that works really well, I guess. And now I got to figure out where to buy the filters for it so we can replace those. I told Randy, I said, sometimes we are just dumbasses. I mean, seriously, what's the deal?
I've got a place that you can buy the filters. It's probably like the same filters I've got down here in the shop. It's probably what it is. So
they look like almost like little pitchers or something that you unscrew the bottom and it goes in. I saw some filters that almost looked like it had it kind of looked like quilt batting or something, but the filters that go in it have like a honeycomb look or whatever to them. So I haven't been able to find it. Right, Melanie.
Now, see, the ones that I've got down here in the shop, I've got a 10 micron, like pleated filter.
These are 20 micron and they're pleated.
Okay.
That's what I need is 20 micron.
Yeah, I've got a 10 micron to do the first step. And then I've got the ceramic, like Berkey filters in the next step. So those ceramic filters are expensive though. But I mean, you can just run those pleated filters and they're pretty cheap.
I can't believe how much better my water tastes.
Yeah.
Apparently these work.
Apparently so.
I was in the shower. I hollered at Randy and I was like, we got better water pressure, dude. I was like, I don't know.
Burnt the skin right off of you, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, it did. Everything here started like Wednesday. So we went to church, and I do not understand why they didn't cancel church, because like right at 7 o'clock.
That's right, because I texted you. There were alarms going off, and I texted you. I was like, are you okay? Because the alarm, Randy had called me and said the alarms were going off in Bowling Green, and you told me you were leaving church.
Yeah. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, everything's going to hit like right at 7 o'clock when church gets out. I'm like, why in the hell are they having church? And so, so they decided in their infinite wisdom, it's like, well, we'll stop early at 6:45. I'm like, that's cool if you live 5 minutes away. So,
right.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the places went a little long, one of the groups. So the tornado sirens are going off. We've got kids upstairs. I'm like, come on, kids. We're bringing them all downstairs, taking them to the storm shelters, the rooms you're supposed to go to. And like everything's going on. So all the kids are squared away. I pull up Ryan Hall and I'm standing out the back door looking. And finally it comes through and I'm like, if y'all need to leave, y'all need to leave now. I was like, because I told them, I'm like, if it's nasty over this way, it hadn't hit us yet. But if it's clear this way, I was like, nothing's coming. So then finally everybody left. It was, I don't know, it was 7:45, 8 o'clock before we got home Wednesday night from church after we got all the kids taken care of and all that. So I just watched, I was up till late watching Ryan Hall Wednesday night. And then Thursday, I mean, it's just like one thing after another, just rain and everything else. And it's just you're kind of on pins and needles. And well, then also
our weather alarm went Wednesday night. Our weather alarm went off like at least a dozen times.
yeah.
And
Well,
Sam and Jackson stayed over here, and Sam came in and woke me up one time, and she goes, "That alarm is going off again. Do we need to go in the basement?" And I said, "What did Ryan Hall say?" And she goes, "I don't know." And I said, "I don't go underground till Ryan Hall tells me to go underground."
oh yeah, it went off. I think it went off again at like 1:30 here, and of course I had just fallen asleep, so I jump up out of bed. Whitney and Lincoln are like, "Let's go." So we're going down in the basement and hang out in the basement for a little while. But it was just crazy for a while. And I mean, really, I think we had a couple more warnings or something like that up until like Saturday, and then Sunday was pretty much just kind of rain and thunderstorms and everything like that. But I tell you, I did go down Friday. Friday I went down. I talked to Kyle at Grindstone, that he's the executive director of Grindstone Ministries. I talked to him on Thursday, and he's like, "Let me know if you need anything," that kind of stuff. I was like, "I will." And then I sent him a message. I'm like, "Do you need me to do some recon?" So he was like, "Can you go down to Selmer, Tennessee, which is on past close? I think it's like 30 minutes south of Jackson. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, but it's somewhere close to Jackson, Tennessee." So I rode down there. It's like 3.5 hours. Get down there, man, it obliterated parts of that little town. I mean, there's a bunch of damage done down there and everything like that. So it was, Grindstone was headed there today. So they're there right now doing cleanup work. I might run down there for a few days and help them. I hadn't really decided if I can fit it in my schedule or not. So, but I tell you what, it's funny. I'd never done recon for Grindstone before. So I texted Kyle. I was like, "Hey, what do I need to do?" He's like, "Get down there and look around. If there's enough damage to warrant us coming," he said, "you need to get some contacts." And he's like, "Get the mayor, the county officials, talk to those people." And I'm like, "I don't do this kind of crap. How am I going to find the mayor and talk to the mayor or the sheriff?" So everything works out. I drove down this one little road, and there's a lady and her 2 kids standing at the road, like everything around them's leveled and everything else. And I stop, and I'm like, "Hey," I told her what I was doing. I was like, "I'm doing recon for Grindstone. We're looking to see about coming down and helping." And I was like, "I really need to talk to the mayor or somebody like that." And she goes, "Honey," she's like, "come up here to my house." She had some shingles and part of her roof was off, but the house was fairly good shape. And they were tarping it. She's like, "I know the mayor." She's like, "I had his kid in my class at high school and all this stuff." So she like rings up the mayor and is talking to the mayor on the phone. And she's like, "This guy, Jason, wants to talk to you." So she hands me the phone. The mayor's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Jason, I'm down here at the Ag Building. Here's the address. Come down and talk to me." So I'm like, hell, this is easier than I thought it was going to be. So
it's like one of those things, who do you know that I should know kind of thing.
Yeah. So I punch it in my phone. I drive right on down there. I come in. The mayor comes out. He's like, "Hey, Jason." He's like, "I'm the county mayor." Apparently, they've got a county mayor and then a city mayor. And the guy's talking to me like we've known each other for 30 years or something. So he was like, I was like, I told him the spiel, about Grindstone. They come and help and do all this for free and everything. And he said, "Well, what do you need from us?" I was like, "We really need a place for like 30 guys to crash and, sleep at. We need bathrooms and stuff like that." And he's like, "Well, let's see what we can do." So he's like, "Jump in my truck." So I go jump in his truck. We're driving around. He's like, "Now, my friends here on this bed and breakfast and this kind of thing, they might give it to you for like a week or two, to use." And he's like, "Let me call the school superintendent." So he's calling the school superintendent looking for places. So then we get back. The city mayor's there. So I meet her and I'm like, "Well, heck, I'm meeting everybody I need to know." And then there's another lady named Lisa. And for OPSEC, I won't tell Lisa's last name, but Lisa knows everybody in that county. And apparently she has everybody in that county's phone number in her phone, because I asked her, I'm like, "What about so-and-so? We need permission to do this." She's like, "Well, let me call." She's like, "I know the person in charge of this." So like 5 minutes later, she's got them on the phone getting approval for this, approval for that. And so the superintendent shows up and he's like, let me show you the boys' baseball field house, which is right next to the ag building. He's like, let's go over here and I'll show it to you. He's like, it's one huge big thing. The guys can stay here. We've got bathrooms and showers for them and everything. So we're walking down on the school property. He shows it to me and I'm like, man, this thing will work. And he's like, we got another building if you want to use it. And then I think, I'm like, I've got a Glock on my hip and I'm standing on school property. I was like, this can go one of two ways. And so I asked the school superintendent, I'm like, hey, all the guys that come down here, most of them are carrying guns. And I was like, we take protection pretty serious. I was like, is it going to be a problem if everybody's packing guns on their hips? He goes, no, I'll call the sheriff. He's pretty cool about that stuff. He said, it won't be a problem. And I'm like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. He said,
they're like, if they're coming to help, more power to them.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, it won't be no problem. And I'm like, cool. So if that'd been Warren County, they would have went ahead and just put me in jail probably for having a gun on campus.
Probably.
Yeah. Bill said Selmer is due south of Jackson. So it darn near, I guess I was darn near in Mississippi then. So that was my Friday. That was driving three and a half to 4 hours down there, spending about 4 hours politicking, and then another 3 to 4 hours driving back. So it was a long day of that. And then in the meantime, they were still getting severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff like that. Like we were in the big ag pavilion and like the sirens are going off. And I'm like, I drove all the way. I drove 3.5 to 4 hours to get swept away in a tornado down here and not at the house. I'm like, what am I doing? So yeah, that was my life in the storm. But now it's over with, and now we're going to get a frost.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What else? Tell everybody about the festival. We have got some freaking awesome workshops.
We do. Let me bring it up so I don't forget anything. Hold on
if there is not a workshop you are interested in for the festival, there's something wrong with you. And hey, also while Shelly's pulling it up, anybody that purchases tickets in the month, what month are we in? We're in April.
April.
All right. In the month of April, everybody that purchases tickets in the month of April is registered to win a Refuge Medical class that they're putting on. So we're going to do at the end of the month, everybody that's bought tickets will be entered to win a spot in one of the Refuge classes for free.
I feel the same, Bill.
Yep.
Like Randy keeps saying, he says, I think we're officially old. He's like, my grandma used to sit around watching the Weather Channel all the time when stuff was happening. And he said, we sit around and watch Ryan Hall every time a storm comes up. I get it.
I got tired of making sure my iPad or my phone was charged, so I just pulled him up on the TV.
Yeah, we watch it on TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so our speaker lineup, we've got some pretty awesome speakers coming to talk to y'all. TJ Morris, which is Bear Independent. He's going to be there. William Bond is a speaker. Dr. Trevor Wilkins, who deals with, he is oh, my brain just stopped. He's a
head doctor.
Yeah, head doctor. He helps people with anger, trauma, PTSD specialist. He's dedicated to serving safety professionals, military personnel, and adults with childhood trauma. Then we've got Jay Addison. He's coming to speak. We've got Brian and Susan Dudley from SMB Homestead Radio coming to speak. We've got Eric Anderson and Dylan Searcy from Chronically Healthy. They're coming back. Jeffrey and Elizabeth Banks, they're going to be there talking about herbal stuff. We've got Jeff Smith. If you've been to any of our festivals, you know who Jeff is, the Everyday Prepper. And then we've got Suzanne Shires, Finding Salt in the Wild. She's going to be talking about that. And we also have Barbara Sue Kowalski that's going to be talking about your preps as far as like flour and all of that kind of thing. Let me go back up here. Hold on just a second. Now, our workshops, just like Jason said, if you can't find a workshop at this festival, I mean, we've got everybody doing everything. So we've got Jane Clark, who's going to be doing a sourdough workshop. We've got Leslie Gossett, who's going to be doing an herbal workshop and an herbal, like a foraging walk. We've got Jennifer Sparkman, who is she's the owner and operator of Our Shepherds. It's a premier kennel that's specializing in set apart Dutch Shepherds and canine training. So she's going to be talking about that stuff, about family protection and all of that. William is going to be doing another composting workshop. We've got Matt Wilkinson coming back to do a chicken processing workshop. We've got Jacob Peterson is going to do a basic knife use and bushcraft workshop. We're going to have a sausage making workshop and a bacon. It's going to be sausage and bacon making workshop. Greg Skeens is going to be doing cast iron cooking and care workshop. We've got Lawrence McCoy coming back to do canning. Bruce DeVries is going to be there teaching how to do biochar on the homestead and why you need it on your homestead. We've got Brian Loftus. He's going to be talking about how to set up your bug out vehicle, a whole vehicle, not just your bag. So if all your cave systems and your state flood and you have an earthquake, he's going to help you.
Look, LP showed up and is talking about bacon.
Hey, bacon, yeah.
LP, you need to come back out in July.
Yes. We've got Dayton Bernique. Am I saying that right? Dayton Bernique.
It's close enough.
Okay, he's going to be doing lock picking 101. Never know when you might need that. Restraint, breaching, and escape. So I guess that's like getting out of handcuffs, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. And then Suzanne Shires is going to also be doing fermenting wild and domestic foods for health and wellness. I'm telling you, fermenting is like if you're trying to heal your gut. And I mean, I have like seriously gone down this rabbit hole of gut health and all of that kind of stuff. You've got intermittent fasting that helps with gut health. Learning how to ferment your food so you're feeding that healthy gut biome, and your gut is key to everything in your body working correctly. So come and hear what Suzanne has to share about, fermenting foods and helping you get a healthy gut. And it seems like, I feel like we're missing a couple. Is that everybody on there?
I think Barbara Sue and Mary Beth are going to do something too. What's that?
Yeah, they're talking about making kind of like the quick way, like Mary Beth's going to talk about how to make fruit juices, and Barbara Sue is going to talk about, making like how to make mayonnaise, how to make mustard, all of that. If you don't have it in your fridge, the things that you can throw together to make those things. So they're just going to do a workshop about that. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Rosie, that's a great idea.
Did you get William? William's going to be making compost.
Yeah, I said William.
All right.
Absolutely, Bill. Bacon makes everything taste better.
Yeah. Even bacon on top of bacon makes it good.
Did you see the picture that I posted on Facebook, the cup that my sister-in-law got me?
No.
It has a big pig on it, and it says, "Praise the Lord."
Oh. I've seen a shirt.
I love it when people know, like they see stuff and they're like, "Oh my God, Shelly needs this." Absolutely, I do.
Oh, yeah. It's like a Lincoln shirt. It's Rice's Hams down in Mount Juliet. Did you see that shirt he had? It's got a pig on the back, and it says, "I like pig butts and I cannot lie."
Oh, Randy's got a shirt that says that too. Yeah.
Lincoln asked me, he's like, is that like the other day he wanted to wear it to church on Wednesday night. He's like, is this okay if I wear this to church? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So he's like, but it says butts. And I'm like, don't worry. It's fine. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I think and honestly, if you can't find some kind of workshop at the festival, I mean, you're probably not interested in homesteading or preparedness, honestly.
Well,
So,
and let me tell you, your ticket for the whole weekend is $35.
yeah.
You get all of this, all of these workshops, all of these speakers. You get access to all of that. You get to sit in these classes, ask questions, talk to these people one-on-one. $35. That's all it's going to cost you.
Yeah. And if you buy your tickets in the month of April, you're registered in for the drawing for the refuge class. And then
Let
also,
me go up here. I'm going to go to that class and just, isn't there a thing listed on there of what that class is about?
I think so.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
And Friday.
Okay, it says bleeding prevention course. It's a 4-hour course at Kentucky Sustainable Living Festival. It says we decided to do a 4-hour class focused on the M inside of the March algorithm.
Yeah.
In this course, you will be empowered with the knowledge of how to apply manual pressure to an artery, wound pack a junctional wound, I guess that's in a joint or something.
Yeah.
Successfully apply a tourniquet to both yourself and others, covering the different types of tourniquets. The class will also learn the importance of carrying medical kit on their person through real life testimony and through applied knowledge. There's multiple instructors with capability and proficiency. It's going to be a great class. It's taught by Refuge Medical. You buy a ticket in the month of April that enters you for our drawing that we're going to do, I guess maybe the 2nd or 3rd of May. But we'll do a drawing and you may win this class and you can go to it.
And honestly, that class, pull it up, regular price on that class. They've got another bleeding prevention that they do in Oklahoma. And I forgot.
Let me go to there. Let's see.
Honestly, the price that they're charging at our festival is, I think, close to half price of what it usually is.
So that is bleeding prevention. So at ours, it's $200. The refuge responder class is usually $449, but that's an all day.
Yeah. I think it's somewhere around half of what it usually is.
Yeah. I'm really excited about them coming.
It's going to be a good weekend. And especially if you buy your tickets right now and then you're registered into the drawing.
Yeah.
So that's about all I've got for the night. It's getting ready to get dark here. At least it's dry still.
Yeah, so I gotta go put my chickens up.
So, all right. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all a bunch. And I will most likely, I've had several people ask me, life has been crazy. That's why I've not done whatever coffee and BS with Jason or anything in the morning. I'm going to try and do it Wednesday morning. Will be the first one. So
we're also going to try to get back on track with the podcast. He's absolutely right. It's been crazy around here and so many things going on with the festival, trying to get all that stuff together. And we've got a great team that's working with us to help, but it's still a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of work. But LP, yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're glad we're safe and the worst is behind us from what we can tell. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, we will try our best to get back on schedule. We hope to see everybody soon. And hey, also, don't forget, the 26th of this month, we've got a sheep processing class. We've still got some spots available for that. Go to the website and check it out. It's $175 for that lamb processing workshop. So it's the 26th of April. So
yes.
All right, guys, we appreciate it, and we will see y'all soon. Good night.
Bye.